Okay.
I'm gonna get that shirt. I don't need you. I have Francis.
I'll make one. I'll make one, man. Are you ready?
Yeah. Good morning. We're back. Today we're going to talk about some concepts that are inherent in the model that as we work through the process, you'll be hearing these concepts over and over again. So these are somewhat building upon the 7-step model that we've already discussed. These are going to be additional sort of add-ons, but very important. Today I'd like to talk about body as map of the psyche. So as I mentioned before, I got breast cancer in February of 2016. When I got the news, I understood that it was a spiritual disease more than a physical disease. I didn't really know yet what it was trying to teach me, but I knew that there was a lesson, that tumor was holding some information. I had suffered from an eating disorder most of my life, and I realized that I had sort of like a fight with my body, as many women and men in America have. We think the body's the enemy. Cancer taught me that body is our friend. Body is the loyal friend. What does the body do? The body simply maps out what's going wrong up here. If you're having a bad day, if you're frustrated, if you're angry, or like me, if you feel you couldn't nurture, and why the boobs are on the board, which we'll get to in a minute, then you can end up with an illness. And the body is such a loyal friend that it will show you and map out exactly what it is that you need to work on. I call it processing. So the other morning, I took a walk and I felt my right hip was out of alignment, it was in pain. As I was taking my morning walk, I started processing the meaning of hips. Hips have to do with flexibility, have to do with sexuality, have to do with a lower nature, and the leg has to do with movement in my life. So I had information to process, and by the end of the walk, the pain was gone. So I want to invite you to look at the body as the map of the psyche. I have a lot of clients that deal with eating disorders or have body image issues, and this has helped them. If we can look at illness as a friend and the body as a friend, we can change our whole perspective. When you get a cold, when you get the flu, when you have an illness, when you break a leg, you can see that the body is trying to inform you, okay? So I have some boobs on the board. So when I got breast cancer, I stood there and I was like, what is this trying to teach me? And immediately I understood, because of my training, the right side of the body has to do with masculine relationships, has to do with lovers, has to do with men, has to do with sort of the right side has to do with action and doing, so more masculine energy. The left side has to do with more of the feminine, the surrender, the feminine energy. It has to do with your children, your maternity. My cancer was on the left breast. So I immediately saw myself and I understood the meaning of the organ. So I said, what's the purpose of my breast? The purpose of my breast was to nurture my children. There's really no other function for the breast other than to nurture. Really, once your children are grown and they stop breastfeeding, what do you really need them for? I mean, to have a happy husband. Once your children are grown and you're done breastfeeding them, really there is no biological purpose for the breasts. Okay, your husband might think otherwise, but we're really talking about biology. So what I understood is that the message that my body was telling me was coherent with what I had in my subconscious. 15 years prior, I had gotten divorced. My children were with me only 50% of the time. So I shared the visitation with my ex-husband. So I only got cancer on one side of the breast, related to the left, my maternity and my children. And to me, it was a simple equation. And that really started me on a path of healing, of using my body to inform what my psyche was up to. So now if I get a cold, if I have a broken toe, if I get a bruise, I can use the information to inform me of what I have to process. So this is a big school of thought. There's plenty of classes on biodecoding that inform the body. One of the things I recommend is that you look up the spiritual significance of the illness that you're experiencing, and it can start you on that process. But just some basic concepts. The right side of the body has to do more with the ego or the masculine energy. The left side of the body has more to do with the feminine and the surrender. So relationships, male relationships, and the left side more of your maternity or your femininity. Ask yourself, because it is your psyche, when you have a problem, what is the purpose of this organ? So I had a client who came once, and her hands were somewhat numb. She couldn't hold spoons and golf clubs and basic bags from the grocery store. And I asked her, what's the function of your hand? And she's like, oh, to cook. And she starts stirring the pot. And right there, I understood that her value was linked in being a homemaker. And so when you can answer your own question, what is the purpose of this organ? Then you have an idea, an insight to your psyche of what it is that you're trying to process. So I really want you to start thinking of illness, any type, as is informative for you to kind of get information about what you're processing psychically through your body. And I also want you to understand that the body is the map of the psyche. Wherever on the body you're feeling it has directly to do with the psyche. This is the concept behind the acupuncture, the ear microacupuncture, reflexology, where you see the whole map on the foot. And that goes for any place in your body. Very important concept to start turning illness and concepts that we deem negative as really information so that we can do our spiritual work. Thank you.